Imagine a life where you never have to face difficulties or pressures and can always act impulsively and wisely. That sounds great, right? But that's not how reality works. The situations that will test our character and judgment in life are complex. Because of this, the Stoics created a philosophy that serves as both a useful manual for life and a philosophy of thought. They made rules to help us get through life's problems and become the best versions of ourselves. I'm going to show you 11 historical rules that I got from Stoic thinkers who lived more than 2,000 years ago in this video. There have been many times in history when these rules helped people. I hope they help you too. To learn all the rules and how to apply them to your life, stay with me until the very end. To help me spread this philosophy, please like the video before we start. You should subscribe right now and turn on the bell so you don't miss a video if you haven't already. Rule 1. Get used to getting up early. Marcus Aurelius' Self-Reflection at the start of Book 5 is one of the most moving sections in Meditations. When your bed is warm and cozy, it's hard to get out of bed in the morning. But Marcus Aurelius did that every day. Despite the fact that he was the ruler of Rome and could do whatever he pleased, he chose to rise early and face his responsibilities rather than indulge in luxury and joy. He knew the morning was the most important part of the day, and how he started it would decide how he lived it. In his famous Stoic book, Meditations, he wrote about how hard it was for him to get up early and what drove him to do it. To master your mornings, you can follow his lead and implement these 3 actions. For example, you can write down your goals for the day and your thoughts from the day before in a journal. You can also write down what went well and what needs work. Making a plan and an attitude for the day this way helps. You are reminded of what to do and how to act. 2. Working out. I don't mean anything too hard, just something that gets you moving, like a walk, a run, the gym, or anything else that works for you. This wakes you up and makes your mind clear for the next act. 3. Working. After doing the first 2 acts, you are ready to focus on the job at hand. Rule 2. Pay attention to what you can change. You should focus on the things you can control and ignore the things you can't. This is what the Stoics taught. At the same time, this will make us less stressed and more productive. Sports are one example. You can control how you play, but not the other team, the crowd, or the result. You are more likely to do better if you focus on your own work instead of the work of others. In all situations in your life, remember this rule. Rule 3. Do not worry about problems that are not real. Many times, our imaginations hurt us more than reality does. Stressful and scary things happen in our minds, but most of the time they don't happen. Seneca said that doubt scares us more than it hurts us. Be cool and try to stay in the moment. The worst thing you could possibly imagine is unlikely to occur. Rule 4. Be careful not to compare success and failure. To show this point, Marcus Aurelius used a figure of speech. He compared all men to a stone that he would throw into the air. The stone doesn't get or lose anything when it goes up or down. The stone stays the same. Also, you are the same person whether you get a raise or lose your job. Negative situations can teach us more than good ones. Enact. Thank God for everything that happens to you, good or bad. You can learn something from everything. Rule 5. Every day do one thing. This rule can be taken in 2 ways. For people who live without goals, the first one is appropriate. Every day, no matter how small, it is important to set at least one goal to achieve. Not having any goals in life makes a life that could be amazing average. It's for people who have too many goals. It's good to have big goals, but keep your focus on taking one step at a time. Doing too many things at once can make you lose focus on what's important. Follow this rule. Every day, you should reach at least one goal you set for yourself. Strive to achieve it, regardless of how easy or complex it may be. Rule 6. Don't try to save time. Remember that there is no simple way to achieve something. Things worth doing in life take work and focus. Pick someone you look up to and read about their life. you'll see that they had to work hard and face obstacles in order to achieve their goals. That is, in fact, the key to their success. Difficult roads help you develop as a person, make you learn from your mistakes, and inspire you to keep going. Their tolerance for effort and sacrifice is what separates those who achieve big goals from those who don't. There are very few people who consistently achieve their goals because anyone can choose the easy path. Seventh rule: ask yourself if you need to do it. In life, before you do anything, think about why you are doing it. Is it something useful and important, or something that doesn't need to be there and is a waste? You will realize how many things we do and desire in our lives that are not really important. They only act as a distraction from what's important. You can focus on the things that matter and avoid the things that don't matter if you ask yourself this question. Rule 8: be happy with your fate. There are times when things don't go as planned in life. Misfortune, hardship, or loss may be something we face. But these things shouldn't take away our happiness or peace of mind. We should accept that they are going to happen and see them as chances to learn and grow. Seneca was a great person who had this attitude. In his life, he had to face many challenges, including illness, political flight, and even being forced to commit suicide. Even so, he chose to see them as good and make the most of them. Fortune does what it wants, he said. We should follow their lead and enjoy what life has to offer. Rule 9: talk until you die. It might sound strange to follow this rule, but it means a lot. It came from an omen that Zeno of Citium, who is known as the founder of Stoicism, went to see after losing all his money. He needed to talk to the dead to live a good life, the prophet told him. The prophet told him to read the books of the philosophers who lived before him and who had died. The great thing about reading is that it lets us access the information and wisdom of the past. We live in a time when we are always looking for the newest and newest things, but we shouldn't forget about the old and less recent things that are written in books. We have the ability to talk to the best minds in history, who can advise and assist us in our lives. Many people in the world have an ability they don't use. The internet gives them access to old knowledge, but they choose to ignore it. Rule 10: be nice to other people but tough on yourself. There are clear rules for Stoics about what is good and what is bad, but they also have kindness and tolerance for people who are ignorant and making bad choices. They are bad because they believe wrong things. As Marcus Aurelius says, applying your standards to yourself rather than to others is the key. Not everyone who doesn't act the way you want them to shouldn't be judged, but you should also punish those who do wrong. Being able to show someone how to act is better than telling them. Set a good example for someone if you want to change how they act. They might not notice at first, but they will follow your lead in the end. Rule 11: always remember that you are going to die. There is a big mistake we make when we think we are waiting for death, says Seneca. Most of death is already gone. Death owns all the time that has passed. We frequently think of death as something that will happen to us at some point in life. It is an unavoidable occurrence in the future. How close it is, we don't realize. If we are old and sick, Seneca says, this is not the right way to think about death. It makes you do bad things and has a bad life. He says that we are all dying every day, so death is a process that is going on right now. Time is running out as you watch this video. That time goes to death. Death is not far away. It is right now. It is the sound of the clock ticking and the light going out. What should we do? Life is the solution. Enjoy life while you still can. Spend less time on unimportant things. Do everything that needs to be done. Enjoy the time you have while it lasts. Say what you think about these Stoic rules. Do you want to add any more? In the comment part below, I would love to hear from you. Stoicism isn't an easy path to follow, just like life itself. It takes a lot of work and strict control all the time. But the benefits it gives are truly priceless. You can watch one of these videos on your screen until next time.